gone down to 0 and 2. So the NCD is really good at pulling toxins out of the body. It has a honeycomb-shaped structure to it, so it traps toxins.
What's NCD?
Natural cellular defense.
Okay.
NCD. Okay, so number 8, we want to do a prognosis for a self-diagnosis. And what that means is we want to massage all around our body, especially on our colon, to see what condition it's in. When you push on your body and it hurts, what does that tell you? You got toxins in that part of your body. It's really simple. How many people have had their foot massaged recently? Most people, once they get past 25, 30, can't have their feet massaged because the toxins settle on their feet first, and they're very sensitive. So what we can do when we're on a juice feast is we can massage on our colon, go up and down the colon. It starts here, goes around and over and down, massage all around the colon. And if you find any tender areas, that means that's an area you might want to focus on a little bit more. In fact, the days I would spend a half hour to an hour massaging on my colon were always days that were worth the time because I always saw more stuff come out of me. And I'd just be watching TV or reading or listening to music or something. I'd lay on the floor. And you know how you do abdominal crunches, you get on your back and you bend your knees up? Well, when you drop your knees to your side, which is a real good stretch for the lower back, that exposes this area a lot easier. And you can get in there and dig in there and try to move things loose. So we talked about that before, about maybe that's something you could have done if nothing's coming out. When I'm working with someone and they don't see anything really amazing, it's the first time they've done it, and it's obvious, you know, they've got something in them. That's usually when I suggest to them that they might try the psyllium bentonite shakes, which we'll talk about in just a moment, and then also some colonics. I remember working with a lady about 5 years ago, and she wasn't seeing anything come out, Marcy. And she started doing 3 colonics a week, and the colon therapist was going, you just won't believe what's coming out of you. So, yeah. So we can do that everywhere on our body. If you have any tender areas, that's a good idea to go ahead and massage on that area. Number 9 are the cleansing reactions we already briefly talked about. And we want to avoid the cleansing reactions. We want to support all of our organs of elimination. The main organ of elimination is our bowel. We want to make sure we have movements every day. A lot of ways to do that. We can take herbs, we can do enemas, we can do colonics, whatever you feel comfortable doing. But we have to understand that this is somewhat of a slippery slope because we can become dependent on these things. They're habit forming. When we normally have a bowel movement, it's like someone's knocking on the door. You start doing enemas and herbs, it's like someone's pounding on the door. Well, when you go back to knocking, you don't respond. So you have to understand that and use all of these different protocols with a little discretion. In the beginning, it's real important. So in the beginning, I like to do a lot of those. And then as we know we're getting cleaner, back off of those so we can come off of them. A lot of people I coach have had histories of a history of constipation. And the last thing we want to do is to keep having them do something to make them go, which is what they've been doing. We want to get off of that.
If the bentonite and the psyllium on a long cruise fast, you want to do it all through?
It just depends on what you're experiencing. I only like to do it in the beginning. And one of my favorite herbs to get the bowels moved is Cascara sagrada. When I do this, and back when I needed to do it, I would take 15, 18 of those a day. Every 3 hours I was taking 3 of them. I pushed myself to see what I could do. I even did 25 in one day to see how it affected. And the concept here is if we can have 2, 3, 4 movements a day instead of 1 or 2, we might see the same results. In 30 days, that might take 90 days. So it behooves us to help the system out as much as we can with an understanding that we might get ourselves in trouble if we make our body depend on this too much. In addition to the colon, we can support our lymph system. We can do skin brushing, very beneficial. We can do deep diaphragmatic breathing, which is something everyone really should know how to do. Because most of us are what we call shallow breathers. Most of us, if I was to ask everybody to take a big deep breath, people's chests would puff up. That's not using your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is an elastic muscle that runs underneath the rib cage. And when you breathe in using your diaphragm, it sucks down and your belly bulges out. So if you're taking a normal breath, most people take in 1 pint of air at a time. But if I said, wait a minute, let's take a bigger breath, let's take a bigger breath as you can, turns out you can breathe in 3 more pints of air. Now when you breathe those 3 out plus the first one you breathe in, you gotta not stop there because there's 3 more pints of air inside of us. And this is the hardest part about breathing. Because it's almost like you feel like you're drowning because you're so used to breathing in so soon, but you gotta really make an effort. And I think it's easier to go out and run a 100-yard dash than it is to breathe those last 3 pints of air out of you. Because again, you have that knee-jerk reflex of, I gotta get some air. But you really wanna focus and squeeze everything out of you. And then when you breathe in, you want to make sure that you fill up the bottom part of your abdomen first. If you're not sure how to do this,